We are just about at the finish line for the new Bethesda plan. So that's a blueprint for development in Bethesda over the next 20 years or so. And it includes not only what the new rules will be about real estate development, but also an outline of how we can acquire new parks, get more affordable housing, improve energy efficiency, and also encourage people to take transit, walk, ride their bikes, find other ways to get around other than driving themselves to work in their cars every morning.
This has been a long process, correct?
This has been going on for, well, if you count it since the time our staff first started working on it, it's been a few years. It was at the planning board for over a year. I think we set a record in the number of work sessions at the planning board. And the county council has moved through it relatively quickly. I'd like to think that's because we spent so much time working out the issues when we had it at the planning board. But yes, it's been a long, strange trip.
What's been one of the issues that's been harder to work out?
Well, the main issue that we confronted was how to account for the fact there's hundreds of properties in Bethesda, individual parcels of land that could potentially be developed or redeveloped over the next 10 or 20 years. And trying to figure out how to accommodate a reasonable amount of development without having to predict exactly which properties would be ready to go and which ones would stay pretty much as they are. And so we came up with some innovative ideas about how to allocate development capacity that allow properties to claim part of a density pool rather than assigning each property its own individual cap. And so I think that we found a pretty innovative way of making sure that there was enough to go around without creating a huge amount of development potential that could potentially cause serious traffic problems and issues with school overcrowding.
And can the community still get involved in the process at this point?
Yes, we are at the end of the road as far as the broad outline of the plan is concerned, but as development proposals come in the coming months and years, there are many opportunities for the public to weigh in and comment on specific proposals to develop particular properties. So that'll start, we hope, with the Marriott project that's coming up in just a few months, and we'll go from there over the next several years.
How is Bethesda changing?
I think that Bethesda has been successful at maintaining its position as the economic engine of Montgomery County, but we see that in some ways it's looking a little dated in places. Some of the architecture and design that was considered cutting edge in the 70s and 80s and even the 90s, when many of the buildings downtown were first constructed, is now looking a little bit tired. In addition to that, we see more demand for people to live downtown. People, as recently as 20 years ago, were much less likely to want to live in the middle of a central business district. And now we see that there's lots of demand for both for younger professionals and also for empty nesters to downsize and live right in the middle of the city where they can have convenient access to restaurants and other amenities. So that's something that we're trying to accommodate, and I think that this plan will take us down several steps in that direction.
Some people say it's not very affordable to live in Bethesda. Does this plan address that?
It does. It includes stronger affordable housing requirements than any master plan in the history of the county. And developers will be required to provide at least 15% regulated affordable units. And we've also taken steps to encourage preservation of existing affordable units that are not currently regulated but are affordable even in the absence of rules requiring landlords to limit rents. So I think that we have done a great deal in this plan to address those concerns.